Hello YouTube, this is Shadow Hero 90 and allow me to welcome you to my show, Sexism in Movies and TV. Now there are three reasons as to why I do this show. The first is because as someone who watches TV, and as a man, I really do think I should be able to watch an actual American show without constantly being offended and without feminism being crammed into everything. The second reason is that a lot of these shows are geared towards a younger audience, and it would really be good if anyone from Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon saw this and actually tried to make a decent role model for boys who's not a white knight, a complete sissy, a doormat, or basically someone who is worthy of the title hero. You know, to keep them from turning out like these pricks. Doormats and losers like these chumps. And my third reason for doing this show is because, I'll just say it, they're aimed towards children. And kids are very impressionable. If you put the wrong stuff in a show for kids, it's gonna send a lot of really messed up messages. Like convincing a boy that basically trying to have anything that's meant to be his is somehow a crime, or wanting time to himself is somehow a crime, or basically a little girl being convinced that she can assault neighborhood boys, younger brothers, and any little kid or male who's weaker than her, and that there will be no consequences. In fact, a lot of these shows do teach girls that they can do whatever they want and consequences do not apply to them. So, with that being said, feel free to enjoy the review. Okay, this month's episode of Sexism in Movies and TV is gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna try this is gonna be a new kind of segment where I'm gonna be doing a little comparison. You see, a lot of people have been comparing Finn from Adventure Time to Goku from Dragon Ball Z, as well as Batman, Green Lantern, Naruto, etc., etc., back when this was, a big hit on Cartoon Network. But the thing is that Finn actually doesn't really seem all that heroic. When you look at his character and a lot of the stuff he's done throughout the course of the show, I can't really say he's a typical hero. He's really more of like the gokudo of cartoons. He'd make a good villain. He'd make a good rival for a hero, but not necessarily, does not make a good main character. Ironically, Flame Princess and Bimo are the only good characters on this show. Well, the only ones that, at least one point, you don't want to punch in the face. And I'm gonna point that out why... Well, I'm gonna point that out by comparing Finn's code of honor to the way Goku behaves. Now, Finn's code of honor is very similar to Kuwabara's code of honor from Yu Yu Hakusho. You can't do anything that your enemies would do. You can't hit the bad guy as hard as he's gonna hit you. Can't hit women. You don't hit women despite being in the 20th or 21st century. Finn Mertz is very similar to Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. And in this, I'm going to do a little comparison like I hammered in earlier. But in this case, I'm going to be comparing characters. A lot of people say that Finn from Adventure Time is like Goku, Naruto. No way. Goku is nothing like Finn. And I'm gonna prove it by putting their moral standards to the test, i.e. Finn's code of honor. When Goku thought Bulma was a witch in episode 5 of the original Dragon Ball series, he was ready to kick her ass cause he thought she put a spell on Oolong. So anyways, yeah, Goku was ready to kick her ass because he thought she was a witch. If you don't remember this one, rewatch Dragon Ball Episode 5, you'll see it. When Finn thought Marceline was evil and torturing her slave, he agrees to take the place of said slave because of his twisted backwards logic. Now, the thing where Goku thought Bulma was a witch, that was just a misunderstanding. This was Marceline playing a prank on Finn that was not funny, and in all fairness, I don't see why Finn and Jake didn't beat the shit out of Marceline afterwards, or at least that's what I would be saying if I... But I think I made my point, where Goku was willing to kick Bulma's ass when he thought she was a witch. Finn, when he thought Marceline was an evil slave master tormenting her slave through physical torture, doesn't even try to beat her up. Okay, and well, Goku is not chivalrous at all, and no, there is nothing wrong with that. Finn is a chivalrous asshole that literally causes... Well, yeah, him being chivalrous makes him a really crappy hero. And now that I've basically stated how... Well, what I've stated about chivalry making Finn a hero that doesn't even live up to Goku's standards, why don't I compare their views when it comes to relationships? Okay, Goku may not be the best husband in the world, but he did agree to marry Chi-Chi, and prior to that, he defended her from the Red Ribbon Army, King Piccolo's minions, and basically helped save her father right after he defeated Piccolo at the World Tournament, so that when they got married, Chi-Chi could wear her mother's wedding dress. On the other hand, Finn, he's usually a lovesick crybaby throughout the series, and in the one episode he's not, he actually gets his girlfriend, Flame Princess, beaten up. He nearly gets her killed. And, to top it off, he doesn't have the balls to be the one who abuses her himself. He actually has to trick her into fighting the Ice King. And if you're wondering what he gets out of this, he's just doing this because seeing her punch the Ice King once gave him a wet dream. So, Finn Mertz, the supposed hero, is essentially letting his girlfriend nearly die. He's setting her up to nearly get killed just so he can have a wet dream. Say what you want about Goku, the fact that he leaves his family all the time, but those are for reasons like training and or him being dead. He never once put Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, Pan, Hercule, Videl, or any of them in danger. This dick puts his girlfriend in danger just to get a wet dream, and ironically causes pain to his so-called best friend, who probably should have died in this big story arc to teach this dick a lesson. Okay, Goku does not tolerate crime. He beat up this bear thief, and he beat up Yamcha back when Yamcha was a desert bandit. Because Goku actually knows the difference between right and wrong. I mean, come on. His sidekick Krillin is now a police officer in Dragon Ball Super. So it kind of goes to reason that Goku does not tolerate crime and is not okay with stealing. Unless you count stealing Dragon Balls from a villain, but that's completely different as the fate of the planet kind of relies on the villain not using the Dragon Balls. On the other hand, Finn steals all the time. And, I mean, come on. He raids dungeons, which is technically stealing. And then there's the episode City of Thieves, where Finn actually does, well, he's tricked into stealing, and then, because of his bloated ego, thinking he can make a thief into a good person by giving them a bath, actually ends up getting robbed blind because he's a fucking moron. Yeah, and there's the fact that Finn kinda is a bully, but it's to a much lesser degree. In this episode, yeah, he's basically acting like he's acting like a thug. He's kinda, well, this is why I consider him the gokudo of anime. This is the sort of stuff that Goku would do. Gokudo Yukon Kukansky, or whatever his name is. Goku from Dragon Ball would never do this. Cartoon Network is actually trying to write their shows as if they were anime. And as a kid, I actually did see shows and think, why can't they be more like Dragon Ball Z? I don't really think anyone sees anything on TV and asks, why can't this be more like Adventure Time? Because Adventure Time is literally feminist propaganda that insults everyone of the male gender and relegates them down to being brainless muscle. Brainless muscle that only exists will exist for the benefit of women, and I think that's just fucked up. And in all fairness, just as a closing statement, Goku may not be Husband of the Year, Father of the Year, or even the smartest man in the universe. He's not Lord Xenu, or whatever his name is, from Dragon Ball Super. But Goku actually has a moral compass, never sold himself into slavery, and never went off stealing things or looting dungeons. Essentially acting like a common criminal and being more like Gokudo Kukansky from Gokudo or any other villain. Technically, Gokudo's an evil hero, but so is Finn. It's sad when Western media doesn't treat its main characters at the same level that they do its female characters. And in all fairness, TV outside of the hero stuff is something Japan does a lot better. And this is a good reason why. Less sitcoms about dads being morons, and more shows like Dragon Ball Z. Adventure Time was a really huge disappointment. What I'm trying to say is, giving men an equal a good and fair representation and treating male characters with respect is what anime gets right, and it's what Western cartoons in particular get wrong. And people are wondering why other people have the gall to say that anime might be, and in a very good sense, is better than Western TV.